Sure did. Okay, hello there everyone. I see there's 4 people in the group. So drop your hellos in the chat. Welcome in everyone. We're gonna get started here just in a little bit. I'm gonna grab some water real quick. Yay. Hi, Marcella. Welcome into the stream and the chat today. I hope you are having a good day. All right. Let me just pull up my notes here. Oh, hello, Stardust. Thank you for saying howdy. All right, so I'm looking for San Bernardino County Board of Supervisor meeting. I'm not finding them, so I'm not gonna say that this is already 2 weeks in a row that they don't have a stream, but like, what's up with that? Let me go to the straight San Bernardino website. Let's see, today's the 27th. Oh, April 8th. They haven't had one in forever. What the frick? Yeah, so it seems like the next one will be taking place tomorrow. So we'll have that one. Let's see what other meetings and events. Yeah. I guess maybe they were like the last meeting was 4 hours long, so we don't really need to have like another meeting after all the Joshua Tree and Lovemore Ranch drama. They were like, we've done 2 meetings in 1 meeting. We need a break. So they decided to take probably I don't know, like 3-week break. Dang. Okay, well that's fine because that leads me into the other things that I want to talk about anyways. Let's pause the music here. Let's just see. I want to look up just the tag. Oh yeah, dramatic shootout. We're not going to look at that stuff yet. Okay. So, first things first. Oh man, looks like NBC LA covered the wild burrows thing. Let's just get a little recap on that. That was kind of funny to see.
Now, from that burrow to the real ones here, there's a new deal between San Bernardino County and a nonprofit that aims to help control the wild burro population.
NBC4's Kristen Casares is in Moreno Valley to tell us how this here is all going to work.
We want to bring more in, get them out of harm's way.
Inside this private sanctuary in the Inland Empire are hundreds of burros, the majority curious and looking for attention. Chad Cheatham and his wife run Donkeyland, a nonprofit operating for over a decade as a sanctuary in Moreno Valley to help both humans and wildlife coexist.
And we've never turned down one donkey that needed medical care, whether it's, you know, few $100s to multiple thousands of dollars.
I am pleased to report that the county
we
has
saw
initiated
that.
2 significant contracts with Donkeyland.
We saw
This
that
week, the San Bernardino
reel
County Board of
before
Supervisors
NBC LA.
stepping up to help get a better handle of the wild animal population.
First is a non-financial contract that provides rescue and relocation services for injured, sick, orphaned, or high-risk burros. Then the second contract funds the sterilization of 100 male burros.
Cheatham sharing these recent photos of a wild burro that he says was attacked in the wild by dogs. You can see bite marks on the animal's head and back legs. She was rescued and treated at a local hospital. Around the area, signs like these alert motorists to slow down to avoid crashes on the road or injuring the burros.
So she had an injury. This leg was splinted here for, gosh, maybe 6 months. We had to change a splint on there because she got hit by a car. Her mom died.
The wild burros have been roaming the mountain communities for over 75 years, according to Cheatham, that also serve as a protection against wildfires.
And there's been fires surrounding all these areas, but they're great at vegetation management and they're part of the community.
The nonprofit reminding the public to be mindful of these animals. Remember, they are wild and they can be aggressive as mating season begins. So just a reminder, if you are going to be driving through the area, make sure that you take it slow and maybe just admire the animals from a distance. Christian Casares, NBC4 News.
Thank you, Christian Christian Cascaras, or whatever his name was. I'm sorry. Yeah, pretty cool to see that Donkeyland is getting probably what they can, getting what they asked for, or at least helping out the donkeys in the way that they could. Because as we remember previously, it was they were going to be transferred to a ranch in Texas. So so yeah, it's good to see that they're doing okay. All right. So, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was this Redlands School Board and transgender students in sports. So we could start by listening to KVCR. Madison Ament is a great journalist. Um, I've seen her speak at my school before, so let's listen to this story.
The school board in Redlands last night voted in favor of a resolution to keep transgender students out of girls' sports. The marathon meeting lasted until midnight, most of which was spent on public comment. The resolution passed 3-2. It calls on CIF to stop letting transgender girls play on sports teams consistent with their gender identity. Supporters say current CIF rules violate Title IX, a federal law that prohibits sex-based discrimination in public schools. And they say it's unfair to female athletes. Opponents like Sam Trad, who's an organizer with Together for Redlands, say the resolution is discriminatory and violates state law.
The law on the books in the state of California makes it very clear that transgender girls who are girls can play girls' sports.
Trad says she's worried the resolution will lead to lawsuits for the district. People also weighed in on a proposed ban on flags that aren't the American or California flag and a potential policy that would make removing library books easier. The board decided to end the 6-hour meeting and discuss those items later. For KVCR News, I'm Madison Ament in Redlands.
Yeah. So a little bit more detail into that. That was just a quick brief on it. I think it was in the midst of other really stories. So let's look at what the San Bernardino Sun just the Sun has to say about it. One thing I kind of want to point out, hold on, all these ad blocks. One thing I wanted to point out is how the Sun's story title is Redlands School Board Takes Stance Against Transgender Athletes. That's a very interesting title. And then looking back at the KVCR title, it's Redlands School Board Passes Resolution on Transgender Girls in Sports. So KVCR, I think, did a great job in sounding not biased in naming the story. The Sun, I don't know, it just says Redlands School Board takes stance against transgender athletes. That feels like it's a little bit more like inspired to spark some feelings. So let's just quickly read through this article, or I guess we could listen to it. Let's see if it's not some AI voice.
Redlands School Board takes stance against transgender.
It's an AI voice. Y'all can listen to my voice instead. Okay. The Redlands School Board on Tuesday, April 22nd, which is today's the 27th, so that's what 5 days ago. So this past week approved for a resolution calling for fairness in girls' sports and voted to move forward with the censure of a board member. Let's zoom in just a little bit on this. Okay. During a marathon, the board voted during a marathon meeting, the board voted 3-2 to pass a resolution, which parroted language in a failed state assembly bill that would have barred transgender athletes from sports that do not align with their gender assigned at birth. Board President Michelle Rendler and member of Candy Olson and Jeanette Wilson and members Candy Olson and Jeanette Wilson voted in favor. Trustees Melissa Ayana Quintero and Patty Holohan voted no. Okay, so first off, during the board voted 3-2, so that sounds like it was basically 50-50. You know, obviously there's probably 5 people on that board, so that way they never come to a basic 50, or I mean, they never come to a split decision. So, if what the title says, Redlands School Board takes stance against transgender athletes, then I'm guessing the article is saying 3 people. Board President Michelle Rendler and members Candy Olson and Jeanette Wilson voted in favor. Trustees Melissa Ayana Quintero and Patty Holon voted no. Wait, that's only 4 people. Board President Michelle Rendler and members Candy Olson and Jeanette Wilson. That's 2 people. And then trustees Melissa. Okay, whatever. The resolution passed with no discussion besides a comment from Olson. And who is she? She's just a member, not the president, who said she was glad to have recognition where she was glad to have recognition when she was a student athlete because she was not up against biological males. Wait, let me read that again. I'm sorry. The resolution passed with no discussion besides a comment from Olson, who said she was glad to have recognition when she was a student athlete because she was not up against biological males. That doesn't make sense. I'm assuming Olson is saying she didn't have to compete against transgender females, but whatever. I am just so grateful that this insanity had not entered in society when I was growing up. Oh, okay. I think we understand her position very well now. She is probably anti-trans. If people think there is no difference between men and women, they are denying science, Olson said, adding that she'd do everything in my power to push fairness and their privacies in girl spaces. Interesting, because I feel like transgender women athletes have the least amount of privacy. And I think probably women athletes in general have like to forego all their privacy. But I mean, God forbid privacy from other players. That just doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. I have a feeling that Olson has another agenda. Trustees voted 3-2 to consider the censure of Ayala Quintero. Oh, is that? I'm so confused. Yeah, trustees Melissa Ayala Quintero. Trustees voted 3-2 to consider the censure of Ayala Quintero, with Rendler, Wilson, and Olson voting yes. Holohan and Ayala Quintero were opposed. A censure is a formal reprimand by other board members but does not remove or otherwise affect the board member's position. Olson said that the censure stems from the board's April 8th meeting when things grew heated between community members and over controversial policies proposed by the board. Interesting. I wonder what the controversial policies were. Olson alleged that Ayala Quintero threatened her by lunging at her after saying, "Say it to me one more time." The exchange came as speakers addressed the board after Olson laughed at a public speaker who did not share her views, Ayala Quintero said. Olson said she would not be bullied by Ayala Quintero and said she did not laugh at the speaker. Okay. It's a he said, she said, or she said, she said situation. Ayala Quintero, I don't know, I'm sorry if I'm saying that person's name wrong, denied laughing at Olson and said that in her time on the board, she had never been accused of anything like this. Bringing it up was a waste of the board's time, she said. Superintendent Juan Carbal heard the exchange and put himself between the 2 board members. He said He did not see Ayala Quintero lunge at Olson. Interesting. I heard an exchange, and when I saw you turn your chair, I thought it would be best for me to get in between you to stop the exchange, Carbal told Ayala Quintero. Also, Tuesday, the board pushed a discussion to rule a ban on rules to ban most flags to make it easier to remove obscene books from library bookshelves to the May 13th meeting. These proposals drew many to Tuesday's session. More than 200 people stood in line that wound around the district office and parking lot, waiting to speak to the trustees. Every boardroom seat was filled, and those outside watched a live stream of the session. By 9:30 p.m., the board had already heard from nearly 100 speakers on the issues for about 3 hours. Other Inland Empire school boards have passed the girls' sports resolution, including the Temecula board on March 28 and Chino Valley trustees on Thursday, April 17th. The Riverside Unified School District Board chose not to vote on a similar resolution January 17th. Critics of the move in Redlands says it aims to exclude transgender students. Proponents say the policy protects girls' sports by leveling the playing field. The Redlands board also resumed discussion of two potential policies on bearing all but American flags and streamlining the book removal process. These policies are being negotiated being negotiated with the Redlands Teacher Association. Huh, that's interesting. I don't know anything about the Redlands Teacher Association, but I don't think it's the union. I am a little disheartened to see policies that are still under negotiation being brought back up for discussion so quickly, Association President Stephen Caperton said. Caperton said that these kinds of policies don't affect education, and the board should focus on policies like making resources available to students. The two policies were discussed at March 21st Redlands School Board workshop, during which trustees asked officials to adjust the proposals and begin negotiations with teachers. Some have called the proposals a copy and paste of those passed by other school districts, which landed those school systems in legal trouble. Interesting. I wonder what legal trouble they got in. The Temecula School Board passed a similar flag policy in 2023, but rescinded it in December after a California Public Employee Relation Board ruling found that implementing the policy violated the State Educational Employment Relations Act. The Chino Valley School Board passed a flag ban in June 2023 and similar book policy in March 2024. We are seeing the same cultural conflicts in these meetings replicated in the classroom, the playground, and in passing periods, Caperton said. Redlands parents Jermaine Miles questioned the proposals. Why are we here wasting our time and money and our future money in terms of lawsuits on this, Miles asked. She questioned board members on if the ban would She questioned board members on if they would ban tomboy kindergartners in case they may be transgender. Interesting. Who said this? Redlands parent Jermaine Miles. I guess I'm saying that right, Jermaine. I'm sorry. It's probably an old-timey woman's name. Hold on. Yeah, Jermaine. It has to be pronounced Jermaine. I'm not going crazy here. Thank you. Yeah, okay. All right. So Jermaine Miles questioned the proposals. Why are we wasting our time, our money, and our future money in terms of lawsuits on this? Miles asked. She questioned the board members on if they would ban tomboy kindergartners in case they may be transgender. I see. Chino Valley School Board President Sonja Shah attended the meeting to support the two policies and resolution. Some in the room questioned why she would be in a board room miles from her own district. Oh, because she's from Chino Valley? Okay. I am the majority voice for all parents across California, said Shaw, who is running in 2026 for California's state superintendent of schools post. Okay, so why is she hopping up at a Redlands school board meeting? I mean, these days, everyone is coming to these meetings except for the like parents that actually have children there. So during her comments, some in the crowd held orange papers denouncing hate speech. Oh, I think that was the picture we saw here earlier. Hold on, let's go. There we go. See this little orange thing that says no hate speech? There we go. Homie's holding it up. Good for him. Wow. Trans women are women. A lot of support for trans people at this meeting, it seems like. And I don't know who this lady is. Oh, is this Olson? Hold on, let me open image in new tab. Yeah, okay. So Olson has, okay. Yeah, that makes sense because her placard, Olson lines up with her. Jason Hill's placard lines up with him. Melissa Ayala Quintero lines up with her. Okay. So I see. What does her Olson shirt say? Something SPORTS. Something sports. Interesting. Okay. Not gonna lie, she kind of looks like Lauren Bobart, but I'm not gonna say anything. Okay, rest of the pictures. Oh, look at all these pictures. People holding up no hate speech. That's really good. Okay. I wonder if this was like centered around a specific trans person or if it was just like in general. Well, hold on. I think they mentioned this state of California resolution. Let me look at this real quick. Oh my God, Daily Bulletin links to the. I swear, all these newspapers are owned by the same people. Riverside School Board won't seek change in transgender athletics law. Oh, this is from January 17th, 2025. So it seems like, oh, this was Riverside School Board. The board discussed the proposal pitched by board member Amanda Vickers and written by Assembly member Bill Esseley, from a Republican from Corona, that had the school district lobby state legislators to remove state education code section allowing transgender athletes in sports. I see. Had the resolution. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Education code 221.5. Oh man, look at us. We're reading legislative writing. We're so nerdy at this point. All right, let's see. Article 4, Sex Equity in Education Act. This is from 1998, I guess. It is a policy of the state that elementary and secondary school classes and courses, including non-academic and elective classes and courses, be conducted without regard to the sex of the pupil enrolled in the class and course, in these classes and courses. So that was A. Section B, a school district shall not prohibit a pupil from enrolling in any class or course on the basis of the sex of the pupil, except a class subject to Chapter 5.6, commencing with section. Oh my God, legalese is too much. Okay, we'll have to look into Chapter 5.6. But okay. All right, so basically Section B is saying a school district cannot prohibit pupils from enrolling in any class or course on the basis of their sex, which is already pretty interesting because, I mean, they I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, if the conservatives are saying that the the gender identifier that is on their birth certificate is their true gender, then that's very complicated. It's just like, just let the freaking kids play whatever sports they want to. And if we genuinely have transgender women beating other women, like blowing them out of the water, then we can go and have this debate. But I don't even think this is happening in Redlands School District. Okay. Or in, I don't know how many school districts in Southern California, but I just don't see it being that big of an issue. But everyone's concerned with it. All right, Section C. A school district shall not require a pupil of one sex to enroll in a particular class or course unless the same class or course is also required of the pupil of the opposite sex. Okay. A school counselor, teacher, instructor, administrator, or aide shall not, on the basis of the sex of the pupil, offer vocational or school program guidance to a pupil of one sex that is different from that offered to a pupil of the opposite sex, or in counseling a pupil oh man, I can't even read these words. Differentiate career, vocational, or higher educational opportunities on the basis of sex of the pupil counseled. Oh, so I think it's like saying, this one is like specifically saying that, maybe you shouldn't recommend if you're a school counselor, you can't recommend that, you should go to college for child development just because you're a woman. I think that's what this is trying to say. Any school personnel acting in a career counseling or course selection capacity to a pupil shall affirmatively explore with the pupil the possibility of careers or courses leading to careers that are non-traditional for that pupil's sex. All right, so it sounds like I was right. They should be, counselors should be suggesting to boys and girls that child development is a good career, or nursing is a good career, or law is a good career for women too. I get it. I mean, if this was written in 1998, California hasn't always had the best track record when it comes to public education. I mean, before we had Brown versus the Board of Education that's ended segregation between blacks and whites in school, we had, I think it was called Mendez versus, hold on. Mendez v. Westminster. I think that's what it is. In the landmark case of Mendez v. Westminster, a federal court ruled that forced school segregation based on the national origin was unconstitutional in California. Yeah, so in 1947, here, let's zoom in on the Wikipedia page. In 1947, we had segregation happening here in Orange County, because it was Westminster School District of Orange County. We had segregation. We had students being sent to different schools because they were Mexican. We had teachers saying Mexican students are not as properly equipped to be educated as white students. So Mexican students had to go and be taught in their own school. And actually, Mendez v. Westminster, like I said, was kind of one of the precedents used for Brown v. Board of Education. Because, for Brown v. Board of Education, that was the one that segregated blacks and white. I mean, ended segregation for blacks in education. But yeah, so, California may be a blue state, but we have to do a lot to get to be as progressive as we are notoriously known. So anyways, yeah, a school district should not require a pupil of one sex to enroll. Yeah, so it's crazy. That's crazy that this took place in 1998. All right, so Section E. Participation in a particular physical education activity or sport, if required of pupils of one sex, shall be available to pupils of each sex. Interesting. So I'm trying to think, like, chat, who has had a like separation of sports when you were in high school? Like the boys had to do wrestling and the girls got to play badminton or something because it was like deemed that, the boys' education wanted to, I mean, the PE really wanted to have boys do wrestling, and obviously that's not an appropriate sport for women or young ladies. So we had to go do it like other sports. And I think the same thing with like hockey too. We weren't allowed to play flag football. We had to play flag football in high school, and I think the boys had to play flag football too because they didn't have any gear. So whatever, you get what I'm saying. If one sex is going to be required to do this sport, then all sexes need to be required to do that sport. All right, section F. A pupil shall be permitted to participate in segregated school programs and activities, including athletic teams and competitions, and use facilities consistent with his or her gender identity, irrespective of the gender listed on the pupil's records. Oh, I see. That was amended in 2014 and then effective January 2015. Interesting. Oh my goodness. All right, so there's this 221.5, and then there's 221.51. Section A says a local educational agency shall not apply rule concerning a pupil's actual or potential parental, family, or marital status that treats a pupil differently on the basis of sex. That was confusing. I still don't. A local educational should not apply a rule concerning a pupil's actual or potential parental, family, or marital status that treats pupils differently on the basis of sex. That's weird. I don't understand that one, but okay, maybe it's not for me. A local educational agency shall not exclude nor deny any pupil from any educational program or activity, including class or extracurricular activity, solely on the basis of the pupil's pregnancy, childbirth, false pregnancy, termination of pregnancy, or recovery therefore. Wow. So, okay. So maybe it's just section 221.5 that covers gender. I mean, sorry, I hate to use that legalese. Oh, hey, Mom. Yes, 1970s. Yep. Yep, 1970s. Okay. So yeah, all right. So that's the code. That's the educational code. Educational Code, Title 1, General Educational Code Provisions, Division 1, oh my God, Part 1, okay. Chapter 2, Educational Equity, thank you. Sex Equity in Education Act, yeah. So I guess maybe, okay. All right, so now we know the actual codes. But like I don't understand. Did each board have to like incorporate this into their thing, and that's why it's a whole thing now that they're like running out of time, and the the state government is going to say that they have to implement this, and unless they say otherwise. Okay. Whatever. Oh, we don't need this anymore. And we do not need that anymore. Okay. Oh, I lost my son. Maybe we should just watch this school board meet. Okay, let's see. So what day was the board meeting? April 22nd. Oh, is it available on YouTube? Oh my God, what is this website? Which is this the? Okay, I'm glad that they put the agenda right next to the video thing, but how do we look at the video? Mm, what if they don't have the video available because too many people wanted to see it? So they're like, we got to get rid of this. Let's see if we can see the April 8th video. Network error. Huh. Does this one also say? Yeah, it does. Video index. Oh, I'm glad they indexed it. But what's the point of having the video here if I can't actually see it? Wow, this sucks. There is no meeting in progress. Check back. Okay, okay, okay. Come on, we gotta be able to find at least video. Huh. Okay. All right. Let's see if we can find it on YouTube. Oh, well, I guess we could watch some clips on it. Oh, oh. Okay.
Things did get heated at a school board meeting in Redlands.
Yeah, members voted to ban transgender athletes from playing in girls' sports. KCAL News reporter Cara Fincham is at Redlands High School with reaction from both sides. Cara?
Good morning, Sheba. Students just now beginning to arrive here at Redlands High School, and some of them asking us what happened at that meeting because it ran very late. Ultimately, the board did vote 3-2 to bar transgender athletes from girls' sports. And here's part of what we heard.
It's fair. It's about ensuring that our daughters who train, sacrifice, and give everything.
Save girls' sports. Okay, that's what their shirt says. So Miss Olson had a shirt saying that.
To their sport are not robbed of the opportunities. That's not discrimination. Discrimination is not letting a boy play in his sports and a girl not playing in their sport.
Instead of judging and vilifying a community you know nothing about, you need to sit with them, listen to them, stop trying to regulate and bully them out of existence. And by the way, this resolution conflicts with California law and is completely illegal.
I mean, we just read the
Hundreds of people
California
on both sides.
We just read the California Educational Code saying that, you know, you can't discriminate against a student based on their sex. So, I mean, there's nothing explicitly saying anything about transgender people in there, but I mean, at this point, it's just like they, you know, they are the sex that they say they are. What's the issue?
Of this lined up outside that packed board meeting, hoping to speak. Now, many did end up having to watch the session through a TV that was brought outside. The vote comes amidst a bigger backdrop of tense district discussions about numerous LGBTQ plus issues. Last night, the board also talked about, but did not vote on, a proposed policy that would only allow American flags on campuses, as well as proposed changes in how books are approved. For years, there's been
Okay. Question. If it's only about saving girls' sports, why are they throwing in the book banning stuff in there? Why are they so focused on LGBT stuff? LGBT, like, is, that's its own separate thing. I don't understand why that has to be, thrown in here to just ban trans students. Like, it's weird. It's very weird, and it goes against, American ideology. Because America's whole thing with the Constitution is that Congress shall make no law impeding whatever, blah, blah, blah. So it's like with the freedom of speech things, it's like, why are we so focused on, trying to target people and trying to get them removed from these things? Like, it's just very strange. Very, very strange.
Tense debate here over having pride flags at schools and certain books. Backers of the resolution that did pass say it's about fairness in girls' sports and should stand alone. Chino Valley Unified has passed a similar measure, and this is a debate we've been seeing argued both on the state and the federal level. Back here live, those who oppose this say that they will continue their fight and to oppose it on legal grounds. Back to you.
Cara, thank you.
Wow, wild. Okay, let's see if we can find anything else covering that. Oh, my light ran out of battery. Give me 1 second. I mean, it's not that bad, right? Okay. Is this it? Is this the whole board meeting? Oh my god, I think it is. All right, let's react. All right, I don't know who this Oreo Army guy is, but we're watching his live stream or of his stream of this sport. So, we're watching his video, so I guess you see all his handles on there. So, oh my god, this is taking forever to start. Oh my god, the audio is trash.
In closed session, the board unanimously took action to accept the superintendent's recommendation to accept the
There are different slurs being used against multiple
Audio is trash. I cannot. Seems like it's the only video that they've done. No. NPR spreads more okay. We can't watch this Oreo guy's video. One, because the audio is trash, and two, he seems to be kind of a not very politically thoughtful. Really? This has been going on for 2 years now?
LGBTQ issues front and center tonight at the Redlands School District meeting.
Hundreds of people, including many parents, packed the meeting. KCAL9's Lori Perez is live at Redlands with more on this. Lori.
Well, this was the biggest crowd I have ever seen trying to get into a local school board meeting. So much so they had to cut off the number of people who were allowed inside. For those who remain outside, you can see and probably hear they are having a heated, politely said, debate. Most,
Little
if
shout out
all,
to Teamsters
not all, are here to
1932,
talk
homie.
about the culture
Oh, and
in
right
the
there
Redlands
too.
School District.
Wait, I feel like
as
I
she
might
said,
know that
specifically
person.
around the
Okay,
LGBTQ
yeah.
plus community. We're told what really got this crowd of more than 1,000 people out here was a recent storybook hour featuring drag queens in the area. It was not a school function, but parents told
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, I guess like 2 years ago or so, there was a drag queen story time happening at the school, and they just didn't want it. People came in and protested against it. So I think that this is what related to. Okay, so Redlands Unified School District has always been kind of controversial, or at least spicy.
told us they saw a school social media account mentioning it was happening. Some people object to that kind of event, and they came here to say so. On the other hand, a lot of people came carrying signs supporting LGBTQ plus rights. They said they felt compelled to show up because at the last school board meeting, there were lots of what they saw as hateful comments.
There was claimed that there's no such thing as LGBTQ children. They said that again, that there was books that was pornographic in our libraries. They were saying that that pride flags and pins shouldn't be at school board or shouldn't be in schools. They are angry about pride clubs. They're just basically angry about anyone in the LGBT community actually existing on our campuses openly.
When you hear that it's happening in your hometown and that your school board is helping to promote it, people are worried about that. Little children being subjected to drag shows is unacceptable. And I hope you wouldn't edit this part of the interview out, because this is...
He said, "Don't clip chimp me." He said, "Do not clip chimp me. Drag queens is not appropriate for children." Okay, homie, I didn't know people that, dressed up as clowns or other entertainers like musicians, Paw Patrol, or what are the kids into these days? All I can think of is, the old shows that I used to watch, like Teletubbies and stuff. I'm sorry. Did you want fictional aliens coming to your school and telling them stories about... Oh my goodness. We don't even know like what stories these drag queens were telling. Like, that's what drag queens do. They perform. They entertain. And storytelling is very much an art. You can't just sit down and be like, Harry Potter crossed the 7 seas and everything was okay and Voldemort lived long after then Snape died. No, you got to act that stuff out. You got to be cool for the kids, you got to be entertaining. And that's what drag queens do. They entertain. But okay, what was his name?
happening in your hometown and that your school board is
Ryan
helping to
Sorba.
promote it, people are worried about that. Little children being subjected to drag shows is unacceptable. And I hope you wouldn't edit this part of the interview out, because this is really what this issue is all about. Leave children alone. Let them be kids.
Let them be kids. Let them do story
You can
time.
hear the passion continuing behind me. This is not the only district seeing tensions rise at school board meetings. Across the state and the nation, conservative groups have been more active in fighting educational policies on gender and racial equality. And there is a movement here tonight among some parents who want to have some books removed from the school libraries. These are books that apparently are geared for teenagers and have themes that deal with LGBTQ plus issues, and there is a group of parents that are actively seeking to remove those from the
But
schools.
why?
Redlands, I'm Lori Perez. Back to you.
Okay, I mean, y'all know, y'all who have been to Redlands, who know Redlands, know that it's a bit of an interesting area. It's very beautiful, has great possibility. It's a beautiful city, but it's just like, who are these people that live there? They like are straight up from like Tennessee or something. Nothing against people from Tennessee, but like, god dang. All right. It's and I guess allegations of sexual abuse in Redlands. Great. They just got so many things going on, huh? Oh no, Lil Xan? No, we can't get into Lil Xan right now. I know we're talking about Redlands, and yes, I cannot let anyone forget that Redlands slogan, the city of Redlands slogan. Oh, we still need to refine that board meeting video. Let me keep that tab open. Oh, I guess I changed it. Here we go. Okay, so that's right. Redlands slogan is a city that works. And I guess they were looking to change their motto in 2017. Okay, so in 2017, man, you know what? No, Redlands Daily Facts. I'm not subscribing to you. I'm already subscribed to Inland Valley Daily Bulletin, and I'm stealing my teacher's The Sun account. So we're already, have too many subscriptions. Okay, but I guess in 2017, that's when they decided that they wanted to change their slogan from a city to works to I don't know what. But, I don't know why. It's like you chose this. Clearly you thought you were better than other cities in the Inland Empire, because clearly other cities are not working and only Redlands is a city that's working. But it's just like there's a lot of things that don't work. There's a lot of problems. So all right. Going back, I really, really want to find like a good audio of this board meeting, but I don't think we will. I don't know if they just only live stream it and don't have any backups. But let me see if I can find let's filter to this month. And then live, no results. You know what, Mr. Oreo, you need to get your audio. School board shenanigans?
I would like to call this meeting to order.
It's just a school board meeting. What could go wrong?
The superintendent in his report talked about, quote, hate speech, unquote. And any defender and supporter of free speech it's an immediate red flag. Because all across the country, and in the schools in particular, those terms are used to suppress constitutionally First Amendment protected speech. For example,
I'm sorry, this is not an agenda item.
wasn't the superintendent's report on the agenda?
No.
Families that represent, because some of you may think because I'm white here that's all we represent, but we have Pakistani, Bangladesh, India, Vietnam, Korea, Chinese, Mexican, Peru, and we even have some Americans.
Wait, what?
I'd like to
what?
India here that
no.
Families that represent, because some of you may think because I'm white here that's all we represent, but we have Pakistani, Peru, and we even have some Americans.
Glad to hear that we have some Americans.
I'd like to encourage the school board to put the flag policy back on the agenda.
We're not going to boo any speakers. That's not very polite.
What? Hold on. Who made this video? God bless you, Mr. Ethan, with 53 subscribers. At least he has more subscribers than I do. By the way, if you aren't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Hit that little subscribe button. While you're at it, hit the thumbs up button, please. It'll help me. I'm sure it will. Everyone says it'll help you. It helped me if I hit the subscribe and the thumbs up. Okay, hold on. Let's look at this.
And how
buffoon.
To put the flag policy back on the agenda.
Americans.
Okay, hold on. Look at the way he grabs the mic.
The school board to.
Why has he got to 2-finger the mic down there at the base? That's so weird. Homie needs to shave his face.
Put the flag policy back on the agenda.
We're not going to boo any speakers. That's
no, we're going to boo speakers.
And how did this false sympathy for homosexuals and trans come about? You have a serious problem. and the compassionate, loving.
He said, how did this compassion for homosexuals and transgenders come about? You have a serious problem. Homie, I have some news for you. If you're at a school board meeting telling people that they have a problem for giving other people compassion, I think you might be the one with the problem.
Supportive response to this is to help them get cured, not
Get
to
cured?
indulge them. A doctor doesn't get a patient.
When you come to the podium,
Yeah, I'm gonna
you
boo
have
that guy
every
too.
Right. You have the freedom of speech. You get 1.5 minutes to say what you want to say. Please do not use profanity. That's all I'm asking.
Who is this
Schools
guy?
should be teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic, not
Arithmetic.
How to be a homosexual.
Arithmetic. And I'm just asking.
Wait.
Arithmetic.
Asking.
The schools should be teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic, not how to be a homosexual.
Did you hear that? The school should be teaching reading, writing, and arithmetic, not how to be a homosexual. Got it. I wish I could have taken the class how to be a homosexual in high school. It would have saved me so much heartache from, coming out at the age of 17.
And I'm just asking. I'm saying please.
Is that the people in favor of having flags supporting sexuality in the gay agenda speak louder than the majority.
Pretty please. Do not use profanity.
Pretty please do not use profanity.
Of confusing them and then chemically and surgically castrating, mutilating, and sterilizing them. Why?
Of my grandfather who fought in World War I.
He brought his flag that his grandfather. My grandfather gave me this flag who fought in World War I. Homie, did they have 50? They didn't have 50 states back then.
Christians don't hate people who are different.
Speak to the board, please.
Everyone has
Up here to the board.
Oh, sorry. Christians don't hate anybody.
She didn't speak into the mic. Who was that lady, man?
I think that you should all be fucking ashamed of yourselves.
Oh.
Ashamed.
Oh, because she said that.
Be escorted. She can be escorted out. Escorted out.
Oh my goodness.
She needs to go.
All you had to do was not say the F word. I'm sorry. Oh, she said it again.
Janet Wilson, Candy Olson, and Michelle Rendler, you are the problem.
I'm sorry, all my lights.
You are the assholes through and through. Your policies are bullcrap. Your intentions are purely of homophobia and bullcrap.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I've already asked. He needs to go.
You didn't mention Christian flags or Nazi flags, despite Jeanette's opinion that they're not really hate symbols. You only stated pride flags.
The fact that we're not discussing that and how we help the students who are hungry and homeless and come to my classroom begging for period products is disgusting.
Thank you, Emma.
I want you to sit and think about what really matters when it comes to educating the youth and what really harms us. Because I can guarantee you that pride flags do not harm us. It is not someone's personal identity that harms us. It is not history that harms us. It is not books that harm us. It is you that harms us.
Is she a student? Yeah, I think she was a student. I don't know why they tell them to stop clapping. They're just, they're just going to keep being loud. She's hammering.
Okay, I'm going to go next.
Okay. Protect queer and trans youth. Awesome. I just want to promote this page. It seems like the only video they have. Okay. All right. Cool. That was a pretty cool video. Pretty funny.
I would like to call this meeting to order.
The superintendent in his report talked about, quote, hate speech.
Did I messed it up. Okay. All right. Well, okay. I think we've learned about that subject as much as we can until more developments come out. We're just going to have to leave it as is. But yeah, that's pretty much what's been happening. That's pretty much what's been happening recently in the Redlands Unified School District. I don't know why they got to insist on doing that. It seems like a bunch of other school districts are banning trans athletes as well, but the focus is on Redlands right now. Probably because it's just so controversial. Or I mean so easy to like talk about. But since we're on the topic of Redlands, I would like to give a special shout out to the one and only Kmart of Redlands. It has been an empty building only for rats for the past I don't know how many years. But again, here we're looking at an article from The Sun. From writer Madison Hart. Let's get into the story. So if anyone knows what I'm talking about, let me pull up Google Maps here. Because we need to definitely look at pictures of what it looks like now, the rundown Kmart, and what's going to happen to it. What the frick? Why did it take me? I type in Kmart Redlands and it takes me all the way to Australia. I just have to find it myself. Wait, enhance. Oh wait, wrong place. Here we go. Etowanda, downtown San Bernardino, Highlands. Here we go. Redlands. Okay. I think it was off of Redlands Boulevard. Yeah, here, let me just type in Kmart here. Oh my God. Okay, hold on. All right, we really are gonna have to just go. You know what? Maybe the article will say. Okay. The Redlands City Council unanimously approved $2.3 million in additional funding last week to cover the full scope of construction to transform a former Kmart. Hold on, there's a link on the former Kmart. Well, maybe it'll actually give me the address. That is negative. What? Why is this website so janky? Okay. Oh, okay, here it is. Oh, this is from the God, the Redlands Daily Facts. It's literally the same article written by the same person and is not letting me see it. Please go back to the Sun. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. Into a public safety facility. So they're going to turn the Kmart into a public safety facility. The city hired Holt Architecture in February 2023 to design and manage construction at the site. The Redlands Police Department is taking over the shuttered store at 1625 West Redlands Boulevard. Thank you. Was that so hard to find? Google Maps. Here we go. All right. Oh my God, it looks like crap. Oh, that's the back side. Hold on. Why do they have to give me the wrong address? They gave like they gave like the receiving address. We need the street address. Please, just why do they not why is there like no images of the front of the store? There we go. But this looks like when it was still no, this is when it was definitely closed. Okay. Oh, I see, because they have a whole fence blocking off the whole parking lot. This even still looks better than I remember it. And the photo is from July 2024. Okay. Anyways, this Kmart has been empty for I don't know how long. But it's insane. How it's just been an empty building in like one of the biggest like homeless areas that I've seen in the Inland Empire, because like Redlands Boulevard is just south of the 10 freeway, and on the 10 freeway there's just so many overpasses that just homeless people hang out around underneath the passes. So like every major street like has just un like at least two or three homeless people hanging out there, and I really feel for them. um but it is like a weird section for that. It's an interesting section in Redlands, because here you see all these like warehouses, and then just like regular houses. So it's just like a weird development of the city. But I mean, it's like right next to San Bernardino, so and the airport. So you could pretty much see like this whole image right here. You can see where the high density school housing is, and then just the big like this big wash. Oh, I guess it's the Santa Ana River. Excuse me. Goes through the area, and it's just surrounded by warehouses. And I mean the airport, but let's be real, the airport is just probably an extension of the warehouse. So, um, give me a second here. So, yeah, so the Kmart is, where was it? It's like right, I think it was between Redlands, yeah, and Alabama. I just like, what is it going to be? Like, what does it mean when it's going to be a safety training facility? Like, are they just going to like go around and like, just have it be a like an indoor tactical training or something? Or like, is it going to be a hangout spot or what? Like, it just doesn't make sense. But anyways, a lot of people in the area will remember this as one of the great stores. But as all Kmart's have died, I don't know if there's any Kmart's left in the United States or not, or anywhere. They just empty buildings at this point. So it's like, might as well do something with it. So I guess the Redlands Police Department is gonna turn it into something. Like I would like to figure out like more, or okay, whatever. Let's continue reading. The council on April 15th. Oh yeah, we already read that part. Construction is slated to begin July 2026, with estimated completion in summer 2028, according to city spokesperson Carl Baker. Holt Architecture, based in Rancho Mirage, that's like right around Palm Springs area, I think. Why couldn't they get a Redlands-based architecture? I'm just saying. Has worked on a similar public safety facility in Ontario, Harupa, and Beaumont. Oh, I see. The journey to replace the former safety hall in Redlands began in 2008, when the building at the corner of Brookside Avenue and Eureka Street closed due to unsafe conditions. Brookside Avenue and Eureka Street. Hold on. I think Eureka is like down. Here we go. All right, Eureka. Where's Brookside? Honestly, I don't remember hearing a street called Brookside. Oh, here it is. Wait, is it just this empty lot right here? This was the former thing? Because it says police department. Yeah, okay. Police department investigative services, and it's just an empty lot. But I mean, it could be restaurant space. You can call Mr. Michael Day if you want to get potential restaurant space. Okay, so that's how can we like look at like previous Google photo, like go back in time? That's crazy. Let's see if we could just like street view it again. How do you change the date? Hold on. Sorry, guys. Enter street down arrow in the top. Display available dates. Nope. Hold on. To see older Street View images in Google Maps, enter Street View mode. Look for the clock icon or down arrow in the top left panel. Look for the clock icon. Don't see any clock icon. About. Maybe they don't do that anymore. Why do they still have a phone number available? There's like not even a building there. Oh, there's actually news on that. That's hilarious. That Google offers that now. Okay, we tried. Maybe I could look up like Redlands PD safety. What was it called? A safety hall. I swear, if it's just like a dining hall or something, that's going to be so annoying. Oh my God, Los Angeles Daily News. I swear, if you make me sign in for something, I'm going to scream. No. I just want to see a picture of it. Safety Redlands Daily Facts. In 2008. Okay. But can we like see some pictures of it maybe? Oh, let's just go to images. City Hall. Is this what this was? Like, no. Well, I know that Kmart's going to be the new safety hall. All right, whatever. Let's just continue reading and see if maybe it'll give me some more information. The journey to replace the former safety hall in Redlands began in 2008. The city sold the safety hall property in 2016 for $1.6 million, which went into a fund for a new building. Over the years, the city has looked at various sites for new safety halls, including near the city yard and the city Citrus Center building on State Street before settling on the Kmart property. In December 2021, at the council approved the city's purchase of the Kmart site for $16.1 million. The store has been closed since 2019. All right, see, I knew it was closed for a long time. It closed before the pandemic. All right, so that Kmart cost $16.1 million. Insane. And they had, let's see, how much money? 1.7 million? Oh, 1.6 million. They sold that land. I'm assuming this little empty lot that is still not developed by anything. They sold that for 1.6 million and then bought a rundown Kmart for 16 million. Nice. Whoops. Okay. Where's the city yard at? But like, what is a Redlands safety hall? Oh wait, they demolished it in 2018. Here, let's look at the Redlands Area Historical Society. Oh, this is what it looked like? They had to take this whole thing down? That's big. How is this not good? Formerly located at West Brookside Avenue and Eureka Street. Why did they knock the whole thing down? Like, why was it not good? Why was it not fit for duty? Because I have serious questions about that Kmart. I don't know if that's fit for duty. It's been abandoned, sitting vacant for like since 2019. That's like 6 years now. Wow, okay. It does look run down in this picture from 2018. Oh my god. But like, what did it do? Public safety. All right, let's see if I can find 2018. Oh dang, look at these pictures. What happened to it? Why did it get closed? Mm. Right, okay, here, let's see this San Bernardino County Sheriff. What the frick is this Photoshop? It's so cringe. This website does nothing. Offers nothing. San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department. Okay. Maps activity? No. Dang, all I want to do is go back in time and see when this building was up. Because look at the building across the street. It's the post office building. Go street view again. All right, so there's the post office, and then on the other side should have been the. I don't understand why they didn't just keep the land and then built a new building. Because it's like there too, whatever this is. I don't know what. This just seems like a nice location, and then they sold it. I don't know. It's weird. I still want to hold on. I want to look up how to see. Oh, we have to download Google Earth, I think. Okay, well. Oh, maybe we could just use it from the website. New project. Okay. Oh, there's a time thingy. Okay, so what was the address? It was like 212 Brookside or something like that. It's 212 Brookside Avenue. Yes, Redlands, California. No features. That's sad. Okay, there we go. Timeline. Hold on. Let's close this that way. Okay. 2024. Oh, there was a lot of green. Let's go to 2023. It was brown again. 2022, brown. Oh wait. 2021, brown. 2019, empty. All right. 2018, was it still standing? The building was still there. Oh my God, look at the difference. Why did they knock all of that down? They even broke off the whole asphalt. And it's like in a residential neighborhood too. That's terrible. They had 2 buildings there. Why were these not fit for service? Why did they have to buy the Kmart? Wait, let's go back. 2011. Ooh, you could see that it was actually being used properly in 2011. Can we see Street View? Can we, mister? Oh, let's go. What? We could go back to 1985? No way. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, we could go back to 1994. What? They actually have an image for that. That's crazy. Wow. Okay, hold on. Wait, let's check 1995. Oh, they have more images. Wow. I mean, it's black and white, but that's pretty cool. Okay, hold on. 2002. Still blurry. 2003. Oh, we got color. 2004. Oh, we have more resolution color. Here, let's go to 2007. We should have a little bit more high def. Yes, we do. So what happened to the building? What happened? Why was it not good? Look, it was like, pretty unique. $2012. Should have already been out of commission by 2012. So where were they doing all their public safety, or I mean their safety training stuff, if they couldn't do it here? All right, let's take a look at the Kmart. Redlands Boulevard. It doesn't tell me the street names, and I'm dumb. Here it is. Right? No, that's not it. Here it is. This is the Kmart, I think. Yeah. Wow, the Kmart was still open in 2018, and then let's check out 2019. Oh no, there's still cars there. 2020? No, some cars, but maybe they're just like parked. Oh, it's for this other business across the street, I think. And 2021, done. It's empty. Empty lot. Okay. All right. So, yeah. I still want to kind of see if I could see Street View, but I don't know how. Illustrate. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Here we go. All right. This is what I wanted. Oh, no. There's no time clock thingy. Why do they do this? Why don't they let me look at Street View while having... Nope. Okay. Okay. I get it. Google wants to be, unless this is the year. What does this say? Betty Holohan. Where's the little thing that says the date? Okay. Whatever. Freaking, this is already spending way more time on cops than I ever want to. Okay. So, yeah. Redlands Police Department is going to get Kmart as their new safety hall. What a safety hall is, I do not know. But yeah. All right, let's see. We're an hour and 30 in. Maybe go for another 30 more minutes. Okay. So another thing I wanted to look at is from KVCR. Want to hear the latest economics IE from April 21st. Let's hear what they're talking about. Again, another story from Madison Ament. Where's the listen? Okay. Well, I guess we just have to listen to me read it then. All right. Madison Ament for 91.9 KVCR News. I'm Madison Ament, and this is Economics IE. Each month, IEGO is a nonprofit focused on economic growth in the Inland Empire, publishes the IE Labor Market Pulse. Oh, we should look at that. I'm sorry. I feel like every time we start reading an article, my ADHD brain is like, oh, we got to look up what this is. What was it called again? See, there's my ADHD. IE Labor Market. IEGO. Let me just look up that. Well, once we learn all these things, we won't have to learn them again. Okay, see, that's the thing. When your name is IEGO, it just looks like Lego, because the I looks like an L, and Google is thinking that I'm asking for Lego. Okay, let me just type in IEGO nonprofit, maybe. Okay, inland economics growth and opportunity. Thank you. Okay. Okie dokie. Data. I swear if their data is community business performance. Ugh, okay, I have to sign up for that stuff. Okay. Anyways, let's just go back to KVCR. Madison Ahmed continues on by saying, today I'm speaking with Matt Mena, Executive Director of IEGO, about last month's job numbers. So I just want to start with the basics. What's the labor market data telling us for March? Matt Mena says March was really a mixed bag. Our unemployment rate dipped slightly, which is good news. It went from 5.1 last month to 5% this month. Okay, so it dropped by 0.1%. We also saw growth in the labor force, about 16,000 more people. But at the same time, we lost 1,600 jobs across all major industries. Interesting. So what does it actually balance out to? Is it still like 16,000 more people? Okay, but whatever. So even when more people are entering the workforce, we're seeing a decline in available. So even though more people are entering the workforce, we're seeing a decline in available jobs. It points to a shift where people are working and it points to a shift in where people are working and how they're working. Madison asked, how do these jobs affect the region's economy moving forward? Mr. Mena says, it might seem alarming at first glance, but it's not necessarily a sign we're headed in the wrong direction. What we're really seeing is realignment in the regional economy. For example, transportation, warehousing, and utility sectors that have traditionally provided strong employment here are down 4,200 jobs for the third month in a row. But at the same time, we're seeing job growth in sectors like government and healthcare, which together added 4,000 jobs in March. So while some sectors are slowing, others are picking up. Okay. Madison asks, is there a specific reason that we're seeing that shift from one sector to another? Matt says, partly it's because we've consistently seen investments in sectors like healthcare and government. But we also have to remember we're not isolate here. The Inland Empire is part of a global economy, and we're affected by things like tariffs and international trade slowdowns. Yeah, that'll be very interesting because I know the Inland Empire is a big logistics hub for the rest of the country. And if we're not going to have as many things coming in anymore, we're not going to have as much, our logistics is going to slow down here too. All right. That's why we're working to stay ahead of these shifts. IEGO is co-leading a statewide initiative with the Inland Empire's Labor Institute called California Jobs First, which is all about helping our economy pivot and plan for the future. Madison says, what economic indicators should we be watching going forward? Matt says, one big one is logistics. Because it's such a major part of our economy, we need to keep an eye on whether the slowdown is temporary or seasonal, especially as we move out of the post-holiday period. Okay. Another key area is workforce development. Are our programs aligned with what the labor market needs? Are we creating pathways for people like helping a laid-off warehouse worker train to become an EMT or connecting a recent college graduate to a career in local government? These indicators help us plan because the data that reflects past months, the goals that use information to shape what comes next. Madison said, thank you. Matt said, awesome, thank you. And then Madison, you can find this segment and a link to the IE Labor Market Pulse at kvcrnews.com. Let's go to that link. This was literally just the link I was looking at myself. Okay, let's see what April says. Ooh, look, graphs. Okay. So unemployment rates see slight decline. Labor force grows by 16,000. Yep, that's what he said. The Inland Empire's seasonally adjusted unemployment rate was 5.3 in March 2025, reflecting a slight 0.1 decrease from the previous month. The California unemployment rate also saw a slight decline, dipping down by 0.1% to 5.3%, while the U.S. rate ticked up by, oh my God, these numbers are just like so killing me. They're just so dry. Okay. Government, 2,000 plus jobs, and healthcare and social assistance, 1,800 plus jobs, saw the largest jobs gains in industries across the region in March 2025. Transportation and warehousing, minus 4,200 jobs, construction, minus 700 jobs, and retail trade, minus 700 jobs, experienced the largest job loss across all industries. However, the decline in transportation and warehousing and retail trade were less severe compared to those reported in February. Last month, 700,000 individuals joined the labor force either by finding a job or resuming their jobs, growing the total civilian labor force to Riverside and San Bernardino County to 2.247 million people. Okay. So in this graph, it's showing unemployment rates. So the higher unemployment means there's less people who have a job. So you could see like, it seems like before the pandemic, before 2020, like ignore that side, the unemployment rate was going down, meaning that a lot of people had jobs. Inland Empire is in deep blue, California's in light blue, and the US is orange. So you can see that the Inland Empire has its little dips and highs, but for the most part, it still follows the trend of California. It looks like we did not recover as fast from unemployment after the pandemic. And now it looks like we're kind of trending back up, like it's like a curve. So it was unemployment was going down from 2014, down in 2016, down in 2018, and then bam, COVID hits, unemployment's at nearly 15%. Then, a few years past COVID, 2022, unemployment is below 5%, back to where it was before the pandemic. But it looks like it's going back kind of up. In 2024, it was above 5%. It looks like, well, yeah, it's still above 5% because it's at 5.1. In March, it was 5.3. Now it's at 5.1. So that's just a slight down, but like look at all these employments. I don't know if this is like on a seasonal, all these individual little divot or little humps. So like there's more jobs and then less, or I mean more higher unemployment and then less unemployment towards the end of the year maybe. I'm thinking retail jobs. But yeah, let's see if we could look at this in a different level. Oh, cool. Look at the box. Okay, great. So transportation and warehouse, which is our biggest industry, was the one that saw the most job losses. So after transportation and warehouse, it's retail trade. After retail trade is construction. Or wait, is this just the loss? Yeah, this is just the losses. Never mind, my bad. I'm reading the things wrong. Okay, so that was just for that month. Can we see multiple months, Industries, green technology. Man, I always hate how it's so hard to just get any info. Oh, okay. Well, I guess I can see all the past things. Let's see. 328. Yeah, it's just the same thing. Not letting me look at more things. But it seems like, jobs keep dropping in transportation. Let's see, February. What? Oh my God. For February, they did honoring Black residents, and then told us how many African Americans are employed, and what industries they're employed in. Yeah, okay. iEgo seems great, but looks like a lot of their information is not available to normal people like me who, just want to look things up, and it's just okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that we covered that. All right. And last story I wanted to cover is from Inland Empire Community News. Like I said, last story. Let me zoom in here. All right. We made it. Colton Mark's first meeting with full department leadership in more than 4 years. For the first time in over 4 years, every department director's seat at Colton City Hall was filled and occupied during a city council meeting. This moment, described as historic by council member John Echeverria, unfolded at the April 15th meeting and marked a rare show of full staff unity that city officials say reflects progress following a stretch of vacancies, retirements, and interim appointments. Okay, so it seems like the city of Colton, which I mean has always been kind of sketchy. They've had a lot of city mismanagement in the past. Hasn't actually had has had trouble filling their seats, I guess. I say this with all positivity. I've been a council member for 4 years, 4 months, and 2 weeks. And this is the first meeting in my term that we've had all director positions filled, and they are all here in attendance, said Echeverria. We made it. Congratulations, and this is a symbol of the hard work from City Manager Bill Smith for appointing these positions. The announcement came during the mayor and city oral reports and comments portions of the meeting, an item typically buried at the end of an agenda and, according to Echevarria, rarely heard by a full room. On April 15th, it began roughly an hour and 45 minutes into the meeting, but to his surprise, many remained in attendance. You are all the real deal, he said. We had interim. I don't know how to say that word. It's just temporary. We've had a temporary person filling this position. Yeah, it says vacations. Vacations, not vacancies. Okay, we've had interims, vacations, absences, and retirements, but I wanted to put this out there. I'm excited that there is still this amount of people here. Still, usually by the time we speak, there are only 7 to 8 people left here. It's a big deal because we, the council, have had some important things to say in the room, and the room empties out. It's frustrating because we save this and wait until the end and everyone's gone. He joked that some directors were caught mid-departure by his shout-out. City Manager Bill Smith, credited with stabilizing the city's leadership team, acknowledged the efforts of staff to keep services running despite challenges. Thank you to the council for all the kind comments to staff, Smith said. I'm lucky to lead a great group of staff from top to bottom. I struggle to figure out how they get so much done with the numbers that we have. It speaks to the character of our staff in every department. While this moment marked a symbolic shift, it also served as a reminder of the staffing gaps the city has faced and the persistence required to rebuild a complete leadership bench. Yeah, so pretty interesting how the city of Colton has been kind of pathetic. I mean, I shouldn't say pathetic, but, they just haven't had the proper people. And it makes sense. The county of San Bernardino barely has the proper people sitting on the boards. I can't even imagine what some of the city level board meetings are like. But as we're approaching the 2 hours here, I think we are going to wrap it up and maybe just end it a little bit early tonight. I hope everyone had a good time in here. We tried to have some laughs. We tried to have some serious insight. I think this Redlands school board meeting was really the big thing to cover. And yeah, so I hope everyone has a good rest of their night. And we will see you next time. Again, I'm sorry. I will try to create a more regular streaming schedule. But we're working on it. We're working on it with going to school, all the crazy things in life. So Again, please remember to subscribe to the channel. Turn on the notifications so that way you can actually hear when I go live and hop in the chat and participate. But definitely hit a like on this video. So everyone have a good rest of your night. I will play some music as an outro because why not? I said I'll play some music as an outro. There we go. Hold on. I need to go to my power glove. There we go. Let's see. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So again, I hope everyone had a great time watching the stream. It's been interesting, and I hope everyone has a good rest of your night. Don't forget to subscribe.